So you might be used to seeing me either on a Facebook Live, or maybe you've seen posts on Instagram about before and afters, but we're gonna be trying something just a little bit new today. I am creating a brand new 4-part video series that takes you through the process of getting started flipping houses done. And I'm gonna take you through the process of how I do my own flips and how I've done more than 150 over the years. My name is Amber Miller, and back in 2008, I actually decided to buy my first flip. I made my decision to buy a flip back in 2007. And when I made that decision, it took almost 9 months for me to find that first flip property. So it can take you a little bit of time before you start to figure out exactly what's gonna happen with this process. And I know what you're thinking, like, did I have any experience? No. Did I know anybody in construction or real estate? No. Did I have a big pile of money to get started and buy that house and lenders who were wanting to fund my projects? No. I didn't have any of the things that people would normally think that you need to be successful when it comes to flipping, but I figured it out because I had an overwhelming desire to do it. I knew that I had to know just one time if I could actually do it and not lose money. I definitely didn't want to lose money, but I had a little bit of a problem. It was 2007 and 2008. So economically, globally, real estate market-wise, we were going through something that we had never experienced as a country or as a world. We were having kind of an economic meltdown. So there was a lot of panic and a lot of uncertainty. So definitely not the time when most people would be like, yes, I'm gonna start a business. I'm gonna do something I've never done before. But I'm telling you, it was the very best decision that I ever made, because my decision to start doing the business and flip that first house had nothing to do with the market or the economy. It had everything to do with me and my own personal readiness. So what I have decided to do in this video series is to take you guys through the process that it takes to be successful with house flipping. It's buying houses at a discount, it's knowing what renovations to make, and it's knowing the team that you need to have in place so that you can be successful. And the great news about this process is that you can do it too. Because back in 2008, I knew that other people who were successful were still flipping houses. Houses that were foreclosures and cheap and distressed. People with money and who were successful were still buying them. They were still going into multiple offers. So I knew that if those people were still investing and buying in the market, that it must be a good time for people like me too. So in this first video, we are gonna talk about 3 ways that you guys can find properties at a discount. We bought this property through a wholesaler. So the number 1 way you can buy a property at a discount is through a wholesaler. And the reason you would want to buy through a wholesaler is because they have access to inventory nobody else knows about. So they negotiate with homeowners. You see that chandelier behind me? And the fridge in the kitchen. They negotiate with motivated sellers. So this particular property was inherited. The seller actually lived in Florida. So the wholesaler found this property, secured it for a price, and then we were assigned the contract and paid an assignment fee to the wholesaler. This property was a great deal, and it's in a neighborhood we've worked in before, so we're really comfortable with it. And the wholesaler didn't try to run the numbers for us. We were able to do that ourselves. But make sure if you're ever buying a property from a wholesaler, you don't just trust their numbers, you run your own as well to make sure that you are comfortable with the purchase, because once you buy it, it's all yours. Number 2, to buy a property at a discount is someplace that you probably might not think, and that's the MLS. So I have bought the majority of my properties for the last 12 years off the MLS. And the reason I've done that is because that's where the majority of sellers put their listings. And just because it's on the MLS doesn't mean they won't negotiate. And it doesn't mean the house is always retail buyer ready, I guess you could say. It doesn't mean it's always ready for a homeowner. And sometimes people just put houses on the market to see what they can get for it. But once it sits for a while, then they'll start to do price reductions, and they might have an inspection that goes bad and a buyer walk away.
people become more motivated because their circumstances change. So don't rule out the MLS. Number 3 for buying houses, it's gonna be doing your own marketing. This is something I've done over the years. I don't do it consistently. I know some people do. It just depends on where you're focusing your efforts and on your business. But one of the things with marketing is you can purchase lists online from companies, and you can zero in on specific zip codes, equity criteria, things of that nature. All you do is buy the list, you upload it to a company that does postcards, and then you can do a mailing. You just have to be consistent and have a strategy around it. So those are 3 options for buying properties at a discount. So in our next video, I'm actually gonna take you through a property that's in mid-construction and talk about the renovations that make the most difference for buyers, because that is really where your flip can be a flop. It can also make the difference between a first day full price offer and a property that sits on the market for 6 months with price reduction after price reduction and buyers wondering what's wrong with the property. So make sure you check back in for that next video. I'm so excited to talk to you guys, and I'll see you then.